Get out my business. Nani? Okay.
Hey, how you guys doing? My name's Heero. That's Eric. We are one half of the identity booth. You are the second half. I know you were thinking like, Heero can't do math. No, I think of you. We think of you. We love you. And we thank you for joining us. Right now, we're about to go into the things that we forgot to tell you last week. So this is quick fire rapid session where we talk about a bunch of things that happen between the live streams. So for better or worse, here we go. First thing we want to talk about is happy fasting day, week 2 of us fasting, all that good stuff. But Jake Paul is now 3-0 in the boxing universe, and there's a part of me that wants to fight him so I can change that record. Eric, what do you think about the fight? What do you think about this situation?
First of all, Jake Paul is trash. That fight was trash. Ben Askren is super trash. Like, he got 2-piece, and it was a slow, sloppy 2-piece. I was like, this dude, he must have took a dive or something. I was so shocked when I watched the video. I was like, man, I'm so glad I didn't pay-per-view that. I'm so happy y'all did and wasted y'all's money.
Like, if you did waste money on you, those are the people I feel bad for. But
I don't feel bad for them.
Someone had to put it on Twitter for us, so I appreciate whoever put it on Twitter for us. You feel me? Those are the people I'm grateful for. But to that point, we also have to make an update on this. Jake Paul's accusation from a while back. He has now responded, and he was asked about this at the boxing tournament about the sexual assaults. He said he refutes them. He says that he's like a mama's boy and that he doesn't believe in doing. He believes in consent, and that's not how he was raised. Obviously, this leads to a he said, she said situation. Hopefully there's further investigation, because if there's nothing there, we want to clear his name. But if there is something there, we want to make sure we prosecute it to the full extent of the law.
And torches.
Yeah, we want to make sure we get this to the max of what it is. But Jake Paul is gutter trash. If you guys didn't know that, the thing that you gotta understand about this whole Jake Paul thing is he made like $1.8 million in 60 minutes.
Hey, run it up, man.
Run it
That's
up.
what I say to the young man.
Yeah,
trash, but run up your check, boy.
In Florida, a Florida woman threatened to kill Kamala Harris in a video. Agents say, Secret Service. Look, people. Let me tell y'all how social media works, okay? You don't get to say whatever the hell you want. You just don't. Because then people will come find you. Eric, speak on it.
Bro.
Like, I don't know how
like, no. Like, when you're in a position like that, dude, people never forget what you do to them. Mm-hmm. And if they find an opportune moment to hit you when they think you're most vulnerable, bro, that's why you always treat people with respect. To treat people with respect. Be kind to people. Nobody asking for a whole lot. Just make sure you go in and hold on, bro, man. Whoever this is in the chat, bro, y'all bogus for spamming our chat like that. But hey, low key helping us in the algorithm.
Yeah.
But anyway, man, no, you just gotta treat people well, man. Listen, whatever comes of the story, I mean, we'll see how it goes, but it still was a blow to him on his way up. But if he continues to have success, unfortunately, it'll be forgotten unless a gang of ladies just decide to come on out and say they had a similar story and mean it.
I'm always going to be mystified that people think that they can say whatever they want to say on the internet and get away with it. But hey, that's just how it is. Like, they'll learn the hard way, or they want it all. Another major predicament that we're going through is the COVID-19 booster shot is more than likely going to be a thing of the future for us, based on Pfizer's the CEO of Pfizer, probably within the next 12 months. It makes sense because we get flu shots and booster shots in general. The situation is that they want to give out these booster shots, and I think that this is going to be a thing. This is like any other thing, and also for it to be a drug for a new virus, it's a perfected version. But more importantly, this is going to be useful to us because it's going to help us figure out when or where we can line up our situations, because we have so many new strands of this virus coming out. It's going to be super important for us to get upgraded version of this. So this makes sense to me, and this isn't going to be like something that tickles my brain too much. Steve Urkel is in the news, and he's in the news for something you wouldn't expect it to be. The darling sweetheart from the 90s and late 80s is now out here selling weed. If you watch the fight with Jake Paul and Brian and whatever the fuck dude's name was,
Ben Askren.
Ben Askren. Snoop Dogg and Steve Urkel. What's Steve Urkel's real name? He's also the voice of Sonic.
Jaleel White.
He reprised his role, and I don't know how this is legal because I know ABC, the mouse owns his likeness, so I don't know how he was able to do this, but I'm pretty sure Mickey Mouse is gonna come beat his ass. And but he's now going to be selling a strand of weed. I don't know what you think about that.
Hey, bro, Purple Urkel. Talking about the loud Urkel.
Yeah,
hey, man, he's gonna be selling the Stefan Urkel.
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be great. Gonna be great.
I more power to him. I was always a fan of Steve Urkel. It's so strange when you watch Family Matters because it was a show about all these this family and these structures, and then everything swiftly turned into this is his show. He started, if you want to be real, he started the TV cinematic universe because when his ass popped up in the Cosby's or whatever show he popped up on, that's when shit got real. I was like, oh my God. But I didn't know that the lots were like right next to each other. I was in the belief, of the group of people who believed that was a real house and that there was just a camera following them everywhere. That was my first introduction to Real Housewives or whatever you want to call it. But but that's the situation. Another kind of weird story is, I don't know, Eric, who is this person on the screen? Do you know who this person is on the screen? What if I told you that this person is related to Tom Hanks? All the tattoos, all the booties. Like, this is Chet Hanks, and this is Tom Hanks' son. And Chet Hanks is in the news for us today because he is all about white boy summer. Now, when you hear this, it triggered my inner Black Lives Matter aspect. But white boy summer is all about being respectful to, as he says, bitches, and being a stand-up guy and not doing anything, dressing accordingly and just getting big in bulk for summer. It has a very positive spin on it. But Chet Hanks
is hilarious.
Chet Hanks has a really bad habit of putting on a Patois accent as he raps, as he's also he's a white guy. Like, it's just very strange to see.
Did you say a Padawan?
I said Padawan, the Star Wars image.
Patois.
Patois. It's just very strange to see. I don't. His music, I've heard some of his songs. They're not very good. But more power to him. It's all about the art with this guy. But he kind of messed himself up because not even a week later, allegations of domestic abuse came out on both sides, him and his wife. So he kind of went back into the shadows. But just remember, no matter how ugly or discredited or dysfunctional your family is, you'll never be Tom Hanks sitting on the red carpet with a dude that's your son with tattoos all across his body, speaking in a Jamaican accent as you're on the red carpet with him. You'll never be that person. I don't know. What do you think?
Bro, like, that's why nobody's ever heard of his son. He knew.
He hides him.
He knew. Yeah, he knew 20 years ago that this was who his boy was, and that's why we ain't heard of Chet Hanks still now. He's done all that he can do, but now that Tom Hanks has moved to Australia, there ain't real much he can do no more.
Hopefully, I hope that this can be resolved, because the white boy summer thing was actually a cool thing, a good idea, keeping people accountable, telling your bros to be polite to women. I hope things go better for him. But in this next story, we have the most polite naked man in the world. We are looking at Quebec's Canadian William Amos, who is a representative of, I think, Quebec? Yeah, Quebec District, Providence, who is, if you don't mind me saying, he's quite the in-shaped, lovable person. I mean, look at those pecs. He's clearly laying out the law out there. I got so many more dirty jokes. You want some more? Here we go. Hey. He's
He
the most.
got the twig and berries out there.
He got there.
Boy.
Apparently he had just finished working out and running some laps and stuff like that, and he didn't know that the meeting was actively going on his laptop. This is a Zoom fail. This is the issue with Zoom, and this is the issue with us.
Why was his laptop open?
But this, I think that these are first world problems. You feel me? This is like, like, I don't get why he thought that like he would be safe or that he would be okay with this. But the lady directly to his left is his administrative leader, and she had the most polite takedown of him, which was, I would like to remind the members that while on camera, it is appropriate for them to be dressed in full clothing, in their most prompt attire. Like, you know, Canadians are the stereotype for them is that they're super polite. If this happened in America, this would be Frontline News. This person would be asked to step down. This dude just offered an apology. So I guess.
Hey man, I hope it wasn't cold in the room at the time, because this dude finna be
you know what? I could grind some cheese off of his abs. Look at those things, those washboard abs. Hey.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, it's not. You can't judge me. I'm confident in myself.
Bro, listen. More power to you. You got it.
Yo, so with this story, we have this is actually, we're gonna cover this in a little bit, but it's basically about Dogecoin wanting to be turned into National Weed Day. We'll cover this story in depth in the next one. This bill right here out of Florida, DeSantis signs an anti-rioting bill that sparks outcry, and part of this bill is giving people the permission to run over protesters. Eric, what's your thoughts on this?
Why? I don't know. I don't know if I need to. If I don't honestly know if I need to say anything else. Why? Why do you want to run over a human being? Why? What is that going to accomplish? Because I mean, in the way the word is today, you're not safe if you run somebody over.
A lot of people think that it's sweet out here, but may I remind you, Florida is also a state that has the stand your ground laws, and that law is constantly being used for as I like to call them, racist white people in these situations. They use this right to attack people, and then they think that they're going to have the law on their side, and they go to jail forever. We had the story about the guy who was a person parked in a handicapped spot, and the guy shot him while he was antagonizing his girlfriend and his child at his car. Like, it doesn't give you the right to do anything. And I feel like people are going to use this law the wrong way. If a bunch of protesters come to your car and start attacking you, that's one thing. But if you drive into a protest, you are not going to get the benefit of this law. This is just another. This is another story we'll talk about later on. The Republican Party's focus is not where it needs to be. But that's just this quick.
Not right now.
It's just this quick outlooks. Quick update on some of the things that we're learning about the Indiana. Whoops, I have to subscribe, guys. Sorry.
No.
But basically, I don't need this. I don't need it. But basically, the Indiana situation is they're finding out that 19-year-old he was actually flagged by the police, and he had weapons taken from him, but he was able to go back out and buy more weapons. Eric, in a situation where the FBI comes to your house, interviews you, take away a weapon from you, should you be allowed to go right back out and buy another gun?
No, but here's the issue. Why was he allowed to do so? The FBI comes to confiscate his guns. What they should have done was flag his ID.
Mm-hmm.
They go when you go to buy a gun, you have to give your ID. They swipe that thing or scan that thing. They find you. Bing, it could pop up right there.
No, I feel like this is a greater conversation. This guy had a lot of issues. His dad committed suicide. He had manifestos about wanting to commit suicide. But there's one keynote thing that was super interesting about this. Do you know what a Brody is or a Brony is?
A Brony.
A Brony. It's it's age 16 and up males who like watching My Little Pony. It's a whole thing. He was a brony apparently, and he had a favorite pony, which was Applejack's. And then the day before,
he was a jabroni. That's what he was.
The Rock says, "Know your role and shut your mouth." But basically, he he posted on his Facebook page he can't wait to be with Applejacks in the next life. He hopes he gets there. And if the FBI was following this guy and a post like that pops up, why wasn't he being tracked? There needs to be a greater effort in that. But we'll see what comes of that.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead. No. Go for it.
I was just want to say, like, again, this to me, this just shows that we got some serious holes in the government. I mean, these things should be way tighter. Like, this stuff has to be tighter. Can't be so loosey goosey. That's unacceptable. Because again, if the FBI confiscates your guns and they don't make sure that you don't have a way to purchase any more guns, so you couldn't harm yourself or other people, that's what I call being responsible as government.
No, for sure.
Again, dropping the ball. Anyway, continue.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right. Where was I? Oh, I think I was here. All right, and then an update to a story from last week. Remember Ted Nugent and how he didn't know that COVID-19 meant 19 because that was the year that the strand was founded? Well, it turns out he tested positive for COVID-19 last week, Friday. He was at a gathering where he was speaking to at least 50 other people, which has now forced all those people to go get tested and everything. He actually has a non-asymptomatic version of it. He actually has some symptoms that required him to get medical attention. So we'll see what happens here, but I don't know. I told you so. You're an idiot. There's so many things I could say here, but like, I don't know, Eric.
Say them all. Say them all.
It's Ted Nugent. I can't believe we're talking about him twice in a week. We got an update to the Baltimore Police Task Force. The officer who was charged, who got 12 years in jail, is now coming out and speaking out against the other task force. Basically, the news came out that they have been basically planting guns on dead victims to avoid being held accountable for shooting unarmed black people. And they've also been charged with, putting numerous amounts of people in jail for having illegal guns on themselves. The one thing that is going to baffle me for the rest of my days on this story is how the evidence locker room kept letting these guns and weapons and drugs out. So we got an update to this story. Hopefully all of them see the bottom of the prison and never get out.
Yep. Heero, this sounds like deja vu.
Don't it? But check this out. And Eric, the Ever Given, the big ass boat that was stuck in the Suez Canal. Eric is being held for ransom because it owes $8 million to the Egyptian government because the port lost that much money. So they want the ship container to pay for it. But the ship container items don't feel like they have a bid in that deal. So they're sending tugboats to go get their products off their boat so that they could. Do you think Egypt should let this boat go? Because apparently right now there's a shortage of garden gnomes in the UK because 2/3 of the garden gnomes in the world is actually being held on the Suez Canal. I mean, being held there. So, I don't know. So
if I was Egypt, I would probably tax him the same. You drew a.
Who do you blame for this though?
I don't know. Somebody got to pay. If whatever you want is on this boat, I'm gonna need some money.
Do you like, because the ship people are afraid to go home because they're afraid they might get attacked. Their families are in danger. Their families are getting death threat. Like, I feel like this is being blown out. This is what insurance is for, right?
I mean, yeah, that is what insurance is for. But again, this is what people, when they finally have control over something and can squeeze some money out of you, that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, I guess that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. But I'm more concerned about the garden gnomes.
Hashtag capitalism.
I'm more concerned about the garden gnomes. There's some poor people out there in the UK their garden just looks incomplete. They don't have the fat, stubby garden gnome out there to complete the picture, and that's an issue.
Yeah, I like garden gnomes. I do. I ain't gonna lie.
But that was basically things we forgot to tell you. Things we forgot to tell you about last week, or whatever the hell I said at the beginning of the show was things we forgot to tell you about last week. But if there's something in here that you thought we missed, go ahead and tell us that in the comment section. And for better or worse, tell us how you felt about the plethora of stories that we went over. Eric, where can they find us?
Right here on the YouTubes, man. Make sure you go ahead, hit that thumbs up. If you ain't already hit it, go ahead and smash that one time for the one time. Make sure you hit that share again, man. We greatly appreciate it, man. If y'all haven't noticed, the subscriber count is going up, and that's because of y'all, really. That's a y'all, man. Y'all being in the videos, coming down here in the chat, sharing and putting up on your Facebook. We greatly appreciate it. So if you got people who don't like YouTube, we're also simulcasting over there on Facebook. Shout out to my Facebook audience. Shout out to the Twitchers that rock with us. Shout out to the Twitchers. Always coming through in the clutch, even though they just spammed our comment section. It's all good. It's all love.
Hey,
but make sure you go down there
closer,
and hit that link tree. You can see all the rest of the places we are. We like Visa. We're everywhere you need to be. But don't y'all forget, make sure we're finna pass that collection plate for that Endurance 24 challenge, 24 miles, 24 hours. Altenberg and Russo, 2 teachers over at TF North High School, holding it down for the graduating seniors. Man, we're trying to get some scholarships together for them. We will be live streaming that on May 7th. So make sure you in here. Not saying you got to stay the whole 24 hours, but stop by, show the people some love, and put some in the collection plate. Heero.
Appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming through, put on your goddamn masks. Take care of each other. Peace.
Seems like every night.
Shout out to y'all.
Don't care who's wrong or right. I hope that in the side, slow it down and we can catch the vibe. But it's so hard to find through the daily grind. We're working overtime, and I'm sleep deprived. Shorty on my line and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night. Don't care who's wrong or right. I hope that in the sight, slow it down and we can catch the vibe.